So, Songs of War is maybe potentially coming back. I mean, I heard whispers of this, but I didn't expect it to happen so soon, and it was right after I dropped the first part of my retrospective on the series, so that's kind of wild. But yeah, Mont27P, one of the current directors of Squared Media, has announced that there are currently plans to expand the Songs of War world, and potentially, if there's enough funds, create season 2 and 3. Heavily rewritten from the original script, which is definitely good because the original script has a lot of problems. But it might be happening. There's a chance of it. Maybe some of the old voice actors are coming back. There's a lot to go over. I don't really have like a terrible amount to say, really. I guess I should start by like explaining what my basic thoughts are on the situation. I would say I'm cautiously excited. Um, and the cautious part is for a couple reasons. First reason is I just don't really think it's likely to happen. Like, I don't want to be that guy, but I need to adjust my camera a little bit. I don't really want to be that guy, but if we're being realistic, it's probably going to take, well, at least a couple $100,000 of money raised to fund these next 2 seasons. Um, Mont said that 500,000 was a bit of a high estimate in the video, if I remember correctly. But still, it's a lot of money that's needed. And yes, Squared Media has about 11 million subscribers. But a lot of those subscribers are children. I don't think that many of them are financially independent. I don't think many of them who are financially independent are even able to part with their money. I'm certainly not willing to part with any of my money because I'm currently not financially independent. And even if I was, there's kind of like other stuff I'd rather spend my money on. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's an exciting prospect. I certainly wouldn't mind seeing Songs of War continue, but it's not something I'm like absolutely dying to see because I'd already kind of made peace with the fact that there was going to be no Songs of War from now on. That it was done, that it was over. But yeah, um, first things first. I guess I'm cautiously excited because I don't think it's happening. For the like, probably. There's a chance, but Mont was very explicit about it in the video that people should not expect a guaranteed continuation. That they should be ready for to be disappointed. So I'm not getting my hopes up too much. Um, Second reason for being cautiously excited. Um, my main thing, I guess, is like beyond the whole debate of whether this can be separated from David, because obviously, I released the video talking about how like David was a child predator and he groomed like a 13-year-old, and that's all extremely fucked up. And Squared Media and I had to remove him from leadership, and he's no longer involved with anything they do. Um, in Mont's video, he said that the old team behind Songs of War, which I assume includes David, agreed to let Squared Media handle the world from now on. Now, I guess what I'm most curious about, and this is my main concern, would David be financially benefiting from this continuation whatsoever, or benefiting in like any other way? Um, I think that's something I want to know because I don't think he should be earning a penny off of the series because of the harm that he's demonstrably, measurably caused to his victims. This is beyond the debate of like whether you can separate Songs of War from David in the first place. In my personal opinion, David was one of many people who had a massive input on Songs of War. Of course, he was one of the leading voices. He was the director. He came up with the original story, the characters. He wrote most of it. Whatever. Plenty of other people worked on it, and I'm sure that it can be salvaged into something else with enough work. Um, I'm not against like any continuation of Songs of War. I think it's a cool property. I think it had a lot of potential, and I would like to see it in someone else's hands. But I do also know people who are just too uncomfortable with the idea of it ever coming back because it's been soured by David, and I can't lie, I have to respect that view. Um, I can't tell people that they're wrong because that would be insensitive of me. So that's a whole thing. But moving beyond that debate, does David measurably benefit from the continuation of the show? I want to know that. And I'm not 100% sure. Like, that hasn't been clarified. Now, Squared Media probably doesn't need to clarify this to its audience because it's mostly children. And that's not an insult, that's just the reality of the situation because they make Minecraft animations. Most people who are watching that, I mean, even I have appreciation for the animations, even as an adult, but that's not most viewers. Most viewers are going to see Minecraft characters be like, Minecraft go burr, and they're gonna be kids. So I'm like, yeah, Squared Media doesn't have to clarify any of that stuff for kids. There shouldn't be like discussion about, oh, does the child predator benefit from the show? It's like Stampy. Like Stampy shouldn't have said what Elverly actually did when kicking him off the world. But I guess clarification on that would be nice. Is all I'm saying, like through some avenue. Um, but beyond that, and I'm sorry that my voice kind of sounds a little bit weak. There are other people in my house right now, and I'm trying to keep my voice down. And I'm also a little bit tired. I've been trying to find like a good place to record this. Um, so that those are my concerns out of the way, and now for like some of the stuff that was actually talked about as being in the works. So Mont is planning on directing, I think, some like expanded universe stuff in the SOW world, and let me just say this. Some stuff fleshing out aspects of the story that were kind of lackluster in the original script would be great. A couple things that I would really like more of would be the Felden arc for sure. I feel like the Felden arc was done very dirty in season two, and then it was basically non-existent in season three, to be honest. And of course the Unyielding Legion, which never actually had any development. Like, it's been fucking 4 years since Songs of War came out. And I still don't know a damn thing about what the Unyielding Legion even is, besides the fact that I guess it's a legion that doesn't yield to people, but beyond what you can get from the title and the fact that like Jalkar and Grim were associated with it, or at least Jalkar was, there's nothing there. Like, a lot of the world is quite undercooked because of how the script wasn't fixed. David didn't develop the script. So with that in mind, I would like to see side projects fleshing out the world. If whether or not they do season 2 and 3, that's a tall order. But the side stuff, the side stories, is 100% something I believe Squared Media can do, and I'm not against that. I'm all for that, especially because they said they might be able to get back Carl G. Brooks, and that in and of itself is the best part of this. Carl G. Brooks was absolutely the GOAT, and I'd love to have him back. Reprise the roles of Thalius and Gallius. I mean, that would just be peak. Now, yeah, I mean, it's exciting. I'll say this. As someone who is still attached to the show after like 5 years, technically, going back to the start, I'm still attached to it, in spite of myself. And it would make me happy to see it flourish. Like, it really would. Like, I try not to be like bitter about this, even though like so much went fucking wrong with David being a child predator and all that other stuff. I want to see it succeed. I really do. And if that can happen, then I am behind Squared Media on this. I just want to make sure that David does not benefit from this, and it's more so just the fans that do. And with that being said, I don't think there's that much left to say. The fact that Mont is the one who is leading this initiative is also very good to me. I trust Mont, like, excessively well compared to like the other directors. I've been good friends with him for quite a few years, so that's super exciting. And yeah, I mean, I honestly don't think I have much else to say. I mean, it's a good sign. Nothing I've heard makes me like worried or anything. Besides the fact that like it's obviously just difficult on its own to produce something of that volume. But I don't think anything's going to be like bad per se, especially since they are rewriting the script, which I think is a good move. I'd love to see what the story turns into in more capable hands. With that being said, yeah, I think I'm done here. Thank you for listening. Um, and if you are also excited for Songs of War, then I'm glad to hear it. Um, if you don't really care, if you would have rather it stay dead, I mean, fair enough. Um, Considering all that happened, I completely get it. It is what it is. So, yeah, bye.